The hunt begins. Last year my friend Dorothy and I went camping in the woods. Both of us loved exploring nature. We drove to the nearest hiking trail in my old, blue truck and parked it under a big oak tree. We planned to camp the night in those woods and then hike back to our car and drive home. Isn't it wonderful here? Yeah. The sun rays feel so great. Even though the woods were deep and filled with tall trees whose tops can be barely seen, the sunlights reach the ground quite well. It must have been 10-12 minutes when we heard a loud gunshot. I grew up in the countryside, hence I could guess it was the sound of a hunting rifle. What was that? Someone's hunting in these woods, I guess. Dorothy and I stopped to look around. We were expecting to see the one who was responsible for the gunshot, but there was no one. We didn't hear any footsteps, so ignoring this matter, we started to walk again. This small incident didn't startle me cause, like I said, it wasn't our first time camping in the woods. The woods were becoming denser with passing time, so we thought to find a common ground and settle for the night. After walking for half an hour more, we came near a two-way. Two small trails headed into the woods, one on the left, the other on the right. I was discussing which path should we take when we heard the crunching sounds of dry leaves. Someone is coming here. Let's wait and see. Maybe we can ask that person for direction. Okay. We too kept staring at the hiking trails confusingly. But we didn't have to wait long. A man came out from the right hiking trail holding a big hunting rifle in one hand and a dead wild boar in the other. Dorothy said in a low voice, "Now we know who shot what." The man didn't notice us first as he was walking while keeping his head down. But when he lifted his head and saw us standing in the middle of the jungle, he got shocked. He stopped and stared at us for a while. We stood there like before, waiting for him to walk up to us. Once he came in front of me, I was finally able to see his face. He had messy hair that hadn't been combed in a long time. A foul body odor was coming from him that made the air around us heavy in a second. Fresh blood was splattered all over his trousers from that dead boar. He smiled, flashing his dirty, yellow teeth, and licked his rough, black lips without breaking eye contact with me. That very moment, a voice inside my head whispered, "This guy is bad news." But without getting freaked out, I tried to handle the situation as calmly as possible. "Hello. Can you tell us which way should we take?" "That depends on how deep you want to go." Ha ha ha. Dorothy and I exchanged look, understanding the dirty pun in his joke. "Anyways, never mind. We will find our way." We walked past him being completely pissed off, but the man just stood there holding that same filthy smile. I even turned back to see if he was following us, but he didn't move an inch from the previous spot, standing tall and watching us walk away. After some time, we finally found the spot to camp. It was a small barren patch of land amidst woods. Dorothy got busy putting up the tent while I sat down to make a fire. As the night fell, the ambience of the woods started to change drastically. Crickets were chirping from every bush. The echoing howl of coyotes made the environment chilling. I barbecued a whole chicken, and Dorothy took out beers. After a long walk and a bizarre encounter with a creepy stranger, my mind was too tired to enjoy the true camping vibe. Are you still thinking about that guy? Yeah. What a weird dude. Don't worry, he is probably not used to seeing two girls hiking in the woods. I don't think he is used to seeing any girls at all. Bloody jerk. But somehow, I managed to let this matter go from my mind and started drinking myself to sleep. We laughed and cherished the nightlife in the woods for some more hours, then decided to go to sleep. The plan was to wake up early and hike back, hence we needed to restore our energy. I don't exactly remember the time, but I woke up hearing some scratching noises. I was drunk, so at first, I ignored it and tried to sleep, but suddenly my eyes went to the end of my feet. The entrance of the tent was closed with a zipper, and I could spot a zipper getting pulled slowly. Someone was unzipping our tent from the outside. I got up immediately in fear and woke up Dorothy. "Dorothy, there's someone outside our tent." "What?" Before we know it, a familiar foul smell choked my nostrils, and that same man from the morning slowly peeked his head inside our tent. I will never be able to forget this scene. There was something in his eyes that made me feel disgusting. He didn't say anything, just watched us and smiled. He didn't even get to just remain there. We were so shocked and spellbound that for a moment none of us made a single move. The man then let out a spine-chilling laugh and said, "Ha ha ha ha. Girls like you shouldn't be in these woods at night. What? What do you want? Do you want money? Just take our bags and leave. Or, you'll be in huge trouble." "I will be in trouble? Ha 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 ha. You girls are funny. Who are you going to call? The cops?" "I highly doubt it." Saying this, he suddenly grabbed my leg and started to pull me out of the tent. I screamed at the top of my lungs for help, but except Dorothy, no one heard them. Dorothy grabbed my hand trying to pull me back, but the man had enormous strength, both of us combined. He pulled me out of the tent and then kicked me in the stomach with his boots while I lay frozen on the muddy ground. His one kick blurred my vision as I could barely take the pain. I then heard him going for Dorothy and she screamed just like me. I remembered. I have kept a hunting knife under my pillow just in case. I yelled, gathering all my strength, "Dorothy! My knife, under my pillow. Use it. Use it." The man didn't expect us to carry any kind of weapon, so before he could prepare himself for a counterattack, I heard Dorothy let out a vengeful scream followed by another excruciating scream from that man. He fell on his back holding his face, and Dorothy came out of the tent. She helped me get up, and I saw she had stabbed that freak in the eye with my hunting knife. The man was sobbing in pain and cursing us at the same time. Taking advantage of his downfall, we grabbed our bags and started to run in our pajamas. But the man didn't stop there. He too got up and, growling in pain, took out that knife from his eye. Dorothy and I watched him pull out an entire hunting knife from his eye, dripping blood like a fountain. "You two skinny bitches. You think you can defeat me? I will cut your skin and hang them dry. I will hunt you down like the wild boars in these woods." We ran for our lives. But the psycho chased us, bleeding from an eye yet holding the knife in his hand. We didn't stop, didn't look back, just ran and ran. When we finally reached the truck, we immediately hopped in. I closed the driver's side door and the man came rushing at me at full speed trying to get in, but I didn't give him a single chance. Filled with anger and hatred, he walked to the front of our truck and peed on the bonnet while laughing like a crazy lunatic. Ha 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 ha. I wanted to run him over with my truck, but as soon as I started the engine, he stepped back and said, "Be careful. Girls like you don't get lucky every time." Ha 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 ha. And disappeared into the woods. We have filed a complaint about this guy, but I don't think the cops will find him. I just hope no other girl ever comes across as such a devil. Like he said, not everyone gets lucky.